Alright, so I decided to do an upgrade to the engine block, and looking at this filtration system, the fuel filter system, it's kind of shitty. Further examination of the thing, I just want to get this tight. I don't want to lose it in case I do need it still. You have upper and lower filters on this thing, and this is the upper. It's got the bleed screw in there, and this is the lower. I was looking at the lower one. I can see that it's been welded on. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a spot weld, and it's pretty corroded on the inside. I thought, well, I got that 5020 out there, that 5020 engine block, so I'm pretty sure I have a filter housing, a spin-on filter housing out there, and lo and behold, I do. Of course, the filter froze up and rotted out a long time ago. Tim's on his way down there. I'm going to get him to grab a couple of 3244s to go on here, and I'm just going to upgrade it. There's just no point in having that old filtration system on there when I've got access to a newer, better one. And the wonderful thing is, it mounts right up to it. Everything mounts right up to it. It's perfect. Like, you couldn't ask for a better fit. See that? There it goes. Right on. So, yeah, so that's it. So what I'll do is I'm actually going to heat this up. I could actually have a little bend put in it. I'm actually going to take that pipe off of there, and I'm going to pull it apart and re-dope it, because I think there's a leak in that pump. So if I take it off, and you can see that there's been some Teflon tape put on there, and I don't think it was put on there correctly. So I'll go ahead and take that off of there and get that fixed. I'm going to warm this up, get this apart, get these filters, get this filter housing cleaned up enough that I can actually put it together, and hopefully it's in okay enough shape. I do see there's a little bit of damage there, but other than that, it's just a better filtration system, in my opinion. You know, it's not going to be the original one, but it isn't far from original, because this is a 10 series, the next series is a 20, which is what this is off of. And I do believe I've seen some 10 series tractors with these on. It may have been an option. So let me get back to here. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. I forgot to put my do not disturb on my phone, and Dad called me. I use my telephone to do these voiceovers. It seems to be the best way to record and go directly into the my Final Cut Pro, because I have an iMac here. Anyways, excuse me. So, I guess I'm going to talk about this pump here that I'm putting on. That is a brand new pump. Actually, it's a remanufactured pump, brand new remanufactured. It's an old pump, a used pump that they remanufactured up to specs. It is actually a 4010 pump, not a 4020. I wanted to put a 4020 injector pump on there, but they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't allow me to have that 4020 pump. It pissed me off. They says, well, if you come in with a pump with a 4020 plate on it, then we'll give you a 4020 plate or pump. I was like, well, whatever. So anyways, I ended up with this thing here, and I've done some research, and I know how to turn the pump up now. So that's kind of cool, but I don't think I'm going to need it. 81 horsepower out of these tractors seem to be pretty good, and you know, what am I going to use it for? You know, baling hay, pulling wagons, things like that. That's about it. Pull people out of ditches. I might take it to a tractor pull in the summertime if I get the time. Go down to Central Jersey Tractor Pullers Association. Go down there and check those guys out. What you see me doing is actually cleaning up fuel injectors. These are the Bosch type injectors, and they were put in not long before the engine had its failure. I was going through a divorce at the time that I parked this tractor, and I just really didn't care, to tear into the tractor at that point. I was in the fight for my life, for Christ's sakes. The ex-wife just wanted to be a pain in my ass, and, I was concentrating on working on my house, and I had other tractors at the time. I really just didn't feel that it was necessary to do the work to this tractor. But I had put new injectors in it, or rebuilt. They were rebuilt injectors just to see if that was the problem, and obviously it was not. So there was no need for me to do anything to these injectors, and they were clean. There was no rust or anything in the pipes, as you see later in this little segment here that I have made that me and Cody actually put the injector lines on together. Timothy shows up here with the filters pretty soon, and we're just sticking all the things that hang on to this engine block on. It is ready to go. As far as I'm concerned, it's ready to go. The engine went together nice. It's got good compression from what I could see. From turning the flywheel after I got the injectors on. There, I'm putting the last injector in, and you might see me spin it. I don't know, but yeah, it's just all this tedious work, and I'm fast forwarding through this stuff because it's just nobody wants to sit there and watch me second by second put these injectors in and the return line and everything else that goes onto this thing, because it would be rather boring. But I don't know. Maybe there are some people out there that would like to watch that. I know I wouldn't be the one to want to watch it, but you never know. You can go to the Patreon page, and where it will be posted with the longer uncut version, I guess you could say, because I haven't posted anything on Patreon, and I apologize to my Patreons that are watching this. The reason I haven't posted is because I'm extraordinarily busy doing all this work. But before I go away to the Philippines and Japan, I will be posting at least one video up there for you to watch, and it's going to be very, 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 very long. Like, if it's not 1 hour long, it's going to be 2 hours long. If I can't get them in there 2 hours long, and you guys can look at it as you see fit. Because it's just a lot of the cut stuff that didn't make the YouTube page. It's all uncut stuff. So, anyway, right now this tractor should be running, but you run out of funds, and or you just don't want to spend all this money. I found out that the front hydraulic pump is bad, and when I say it's bad, there's no pressure at all going to come from that pump. So I ended up buying a new front hydraulic pump. John Deere wanted $2,600 for it, and I wasn't going to spend that kind of money on it. So I called up Wangers of Myerstown, and they didn't have one on the shelf, and they wanted $1,000 for one, and if I didn't have a good core, they would charge me $250, and that was unacceptable. So I was like, well, Jesus, what in the hell am I going to do? So I went to Allstate's Ag Parts, and they wanted $850 with a core. If there was no good core, then it would have been another $150 on top of that, putting that to $1,000. So I went to eBay, and there was a pump on there, brand new, and for $713 and $22 for shipping. So I'm like, well, geez, that isn't bad. I can deal with that. It sure beats $1,000. I can spend $713 plus $22 shipping. So I click on it, and lo and behold, it sends me to Allstate's Ag Parts, or Tractor Parts ASAP, as soon as possible, or Allstate's Ag Parts. And I was shocked. I was like, what the hell? So I go back to the Allstate's Ag Parts page or site, and it's like, well, all right. There it is, the same damn pump, brand new, same thing, like $950, $1,000, $850 for it. So it's cheaper to buy that pump through eBay, from Allstate's Ag Parts. So I went to their eBay store and punched in 4010, and I bought $2,000 worth of parts for the 4010, and it was shipped out the very same day. It should be here either today or tomorrow. But it was at a greatly reduced price through eBay, through Allstate's Ag Parts. Kind of weird that it ended up that way, but it did. And actually, you're going to see me put the filters on.